Look at this creature here. This is a Moreton Bay bug. Now it looks like a creature from outer space, but really the flavour comes straight from heaven. Now these can be a little bit difficult to put together, but I'll show you how to prepare them in the quickest and easiest way. First of all, lay the bug down on its back, and with a sharp knife, just make an incision down in along that joint there. There you go. Pull him over the other side and put it in behind the shell again, and that will loosen up all the meat inside the shell. And if all things being equal, that should just pop out like so. Okay, now we need to take a good pair of industrial scissors and just cut our way up one side, and then you should be able to break the meat out. This is pretty simple to do. You can use a knife. Serrated edge is the best if you are going to attempt it with a knife. That'll just peel back like so. And out she pops. Look at that. That is some of the primest seafood that you are ever going to eat. Now, before we want to cook this, we're going to have to bat it out a little bit. So because the meat flesh is very delicate, we're just going to take a little bit of Glad wrap and put the bug meat in between it. Spread that Glad wrap out like so. Fold it over, and then with a mallet, just lightly tap it down, and we'll beat it out, because this will, otherwise if you don't do this, when you cook it, it'll shrink up and it won't look terribly attractive. So just lightly bat that out. There we have it. That and 3 of his mates, and we're ready to cook. Now let's have a look at our prep list for this dish. I've got some Pernod, and that's an aniseed liqueur. It's absolutely beautiful, and that's going to give the base of the flavour for the sauce for our bugs. I've got some julienne veg. I've got some bean sprouts in there, some red and green capsicum, some carrot and some garlic chives, and to that I'm just going to add a teaspoon of garlic, and this is our garnish, and just a splash of oil. And we're just going to let that flavour go through there just for a few minutes before we start cooking. Okay, I have over here some garlic chives, some shallots, and some crushed pink peppercorns, and these are full of flavour. And whenever you're cooking with peppercorns, whether it be green or the pink ones, make sure you crush them. That's what brings out the flavour. A little bit of diced capsicum, some fresh cream, a little bit of butter, and of course a splash of wine to keep it nice and moist. So the most important thing now to do is to get our pan nice and hot. First thing we're going to do is just throw a knob of butter and melt that down in our pan, and then as that starts to melt down, we're going to flour our bugs. Actually, I'll put a little bit of cracked black pepper over the top of them first, always seasoned to your own taste. And then we're just going to take our bug meat, roll it in some plain flour, and then place that into our nut brown butter. Alright, there's one. We'll just cook a couple here. 2, and this helps keep the bug meat together and actually acts to thicken the sauce down the track. 2, 3 nice bits of bug into the butter, and seal those off for about 45 seconds. Now you'll see how our butter's gone nice and brown, and that's what gives us our colour. So it's over with our bugs. Look at that, and that's what the flour does, makes it nice and crispy. And I'm just going to give it a little shot of white wine, and that's going to keep it nice and moist. Now we're going to build our sauce. So it's in with the green peppercorns. It's about a tablespoon there. 2 tablespoons of shallots. Beautiful. A few garlic chives, about a teaspoon. And then in with our red capsicum. Look at that. Now that gives us a wonderful colour and flavour. And we're just going to toss that off in that little wine juice for a minute until all those juices start to reduce. Now it's time to flambe with our Pernod. Very, very dangerous. Must always take the pan off and then set fire to it. And up she goes. I love that. Now we're just going to put half a cup of light cream in and let that reduce down to a medium consistency. Now that's almost done. So what we're going to do is take our julienne veg and just throw it onto our hot plate, and that's our garnish. And that gives us individual flavours. Look at that sizzle. Really all you need to do is to warm that through, and then we're going to put it onto our serving plate. Going to turn that down, that's reduced nicely. This is all we need, and we're just going to lay that around so we've got plenty of colour and different flavours on our dish all the way through. Look at that. And that's going to give us something to soak up our rich Pernod-based sauce. Oh, I can smell that garlic as it starts to burn. It's just outstanding. Oh, I love this. Alrighty, let's tidy up our plate. Now it's time to serve our bugs. That's reduced down beautifully, and lay them around the outside. We've got a nice bit of rice there. Put that one about there. Slip off, there you go. And the smaller one around the other side, just there. Now, let's get all those wonderful pan juices happening. Now that's thick and rich, that sauce. And the Pernod really does have a very, very distinctive flavour. So let's serve it up. Individually, we'll just place that rich sauce over the top. And look at the colour in this dish. And the pink peppercorns give it a very piquant or savoury style of flavour, with the sweetness of the Pernod and the cream. And all the other ingredients just marry up beautifully to give you a dish that is dead set world class, and something you can prepare quickly and easily at home. That's about all we need for that dish. Look at that. Sensational. Now, a special dish like this needs a very special bottle of wine, and that's why we've gone for the Chardonnay Pinot Noir with this. I'm guaranteed that you and your family will enjoy.